us are human beings, and no matter what we do or what we say, life is going to happen to us, and there will be setbacks, financial setbacks, there will be business reversals, there's going to be illness and death and everything happening around us, no matter who we are. But it's just this question of being this centered well-being, deep sense of well-being which you have. What happens is you operate from a space with where you think, I am okay, I was always okay, and I will always be okay.
Have you ever thought of turning your life into a living masterpiece? Imagine someone who can help you get clarity on your life vision. Hello and welcome to Rashi Foundation. Kavitha Many One, with an extensive experience of 20 years of corporate experiences in diverse global roles, having coached more than 3,000 clients and have introduced a great concept and program called Lifebook. Lifebook is a transformational lifestyle design system that empowers you to envision, plan, and achieve the very best in your life. आपका बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है. Okay, so Kavitha ji, to start with, tell us about your brand, Kavitha Many One. What inspired your journey as a certified Lifebook leader?
Yes, I'd like to talk about Kavitha Many One as a brand, how it evolved. Firstly, having been in my corporate, during my corporate tenure, what happened was I was often made to sit at a panel and interview candidates who were very well qualified and very good at whatever it was they were doing. But it was sad to let them go simply because they were unable to present themselves well and package themselves to create that so-called first impression. And it was really saddening for me. So just at random, I used to pick up these candidates and work on them out of my own intention and desire. And, surprisingly, I was so happy when they got placed. They were beginning to get placed in very good job positions. Some of them today are at Silicon Valley and Google. And, it's there in the testimonials. There's even a student who was so shy and introverted. Later on, he became the president of the Student Association at Columbia University. He sits for convocations. So these were all like stunning experiences for me with no background, proper structured training in this thing. It was just sort of my own interest to bring out the best in them, give them an opportunity. Just by tweaking that little bit, they could go way ahead in their life journey. So this is how my journey began. And, being in the corporate job, I was like in a senior position and very busy at that time, traveling around. And at this time, one of my friends, she introduced me to a course on image consulting and soft skills by ICBI. And I just said, okay, let me learn this in a proper structured way. So since it was just weekend classes, I enrolled. And even before I got certified, there were a lot of references, just word of mouth. These people whom I helped used to talk about me to others. And that's how my journey began. I started training even before I got qualified or certified. Of course, with the approval from the institute, my mentor said, just go for it. You have it in you. So, and that's how I got into this. And of course, I chose also to quit my job when I was right at the peak of my career. One reason being this was so fulfilling for me. It was from within. And not just that, of course, it gave me a lot of flexibility with the work timings and family and all that. So my journey with facilitation started about 8 years back. And thereafter what happened was I used to go do workshops and one-on-one clients. And in spite of fixing their image and working on their soft skills or their leadership qualities and things like that, they used to come to me during our in-depth conversations about issues either in their health and fitness, sometimes their emotional stability, sometimes even their love relationships. So I felt I had to give in. So there was this gap. It's just not enough fixing their attire and communication. So I was looking for something where I could give them a wholesome thing. That's when Lifebook happened to me. So I joined Lifebook initially, and later on, to, when you want to do something deeply, it's just like the universe gives it to you right in front of you. Till then, Lifebook was only a program offered by in the US, and you had to pay about 7,500 US dollars, which was a big amount. So it was only the high-end entrepreneurs and high-flying people who could afford it. And luckily for me, at that time, our mentors, John and Missy, they chose to make it available across the globe. And because they came up with a mission of wanting to reach this to 1 million people across the world. And that's when they said, okay, let's open this up and also downscale the price to make it available to everyone. So they chose to, and or not just that, they wanted leaders in different parts of the world to take it to people. So I happen to be privileged to be one among the first cohort to be trained by the mentors themselves, John and Missy. And here I am on my journey as a certified Lifebook leader.
So much of good energy and so much of happy life. This is what Kavitha Many One is all about. Kavitha ji, what does success mean to you?
Success for me is, I define it in a very different way than most others would. Because for me, success is about waking up alive, and you feel radiantly alive right from the moment you're up and about. And then what you're put in this earth to do, that's what kind of ignites you and gets you going right from the moment you wake up. The blood is just singing in your body, and then you're so vibrant because you have this deep sense of being centered and well-being inside you. Now, all of us are human beings, and no matter what we do or what we say, life is going to happen to us, and there will be setbacks, financial setbacks, there will be business reversals, there's going to be illness and death, and everything happening around us, no matter who we are. But it's just this question of being this centered well-being, deep sense of well-being which you have. What happens is you operate from a space with where you think, I am okay, I was always okay, and I will always be okay. When you operate from this space, no matter what happens, you will deal with this thing as appropriate and then just bounce back. You will experience the pain or whatever it is, no matter what, but you'll bounce back so quickly just because you are operating from a totally different emotional domain. So that's what for me is successful, being balanced and centered, no matter what is going on around.
Absolutely correct. And this is true, what Kavitha Many One has just mentioned. So Kavitha ji, Lifebook is a personal development program, unlike anything else in the personal development world. Can you tell us what is the main focus of the LB process?
Lifebook is a life transformational journey which enables people to envision, plan, and achieve whatever it is they have dreamt or dreaming about. So now here with Lifebook, what happens is we have done a deep exploration about what life is. The entire human life experience has been broken down into 12 categories. Identify what is it that you want in these 12 categories, and then create a vision for the very same thing. And then we help you to figure out how is it that you go about achieving what is it that you have envisioned in these 12 categories. So that will be Lifebook in a nutshell.
So adding to this, what you just mentioned, please run us through the 12 categories in the Lifebook. Over to you.
See, like Lifebook revolves around 12 categories, of which the first 5 categories will be about your internal self. And the next 5 categories will be the external, the people you're associated with, the environment and everything. And then the last 2 will be the net result of what you have, hard work you've put into these categories. Now, to begin with, see, none of these categories, I would say, is an elective. They are all mandatory. It is about nearly about 23 years of experience put in and research put in by our mentors to create and identify these essential 12 categories. Now, why I say is none of them can be an elective and everything is a mandatory is because even if there is a slight imbalance in one of these categories, it could completely derail a person of their life. So that is why it is essential. And, I can give you an example. For example, like if a person is really doing very well in their career, and then has a messed up health and fitness, like say he's about 100 pounds overweight and then is a big time smoker, so he's got everything jacked up, and then it's going to affect his relationship with his spouse, his children, and maybe the people around him. On the other hand, if a person has his health and fitness completely dialed in, and then he has an extraordinary love relationship, but then his finances are in a mess, then he will have to live a life of scarcity and lack. And that's not a great thing to do. So, this is why all the essential 12 categories are very, very important in Lifebook. And we have a saying here in our community: a win anywhere is a win everywhere. That's how we approach it. So, the first 5 categories, which I called as the internal, will be your health and fitness. See, for that, it is an individual has to work on themselves. We can't ask our spouse to go and work out in the gym or eat better for us to get a better body. So these are all internalized. An individual has to work on himself. Then there is character, intellectual life, emotional life, and spiritual life. These are all the internalized ones. Then we have the 5 categories which are dependent on the people around us, like your love relationship, your parenting, your social life, and then your career and finance. Now, after putting in all the hard work, then we move on to the 11th category, which is the quality of life. This is where the real material, you're going to enjoy this. All the hard work put in comes in, like your dream boat or fancy car and exotic vacations and whatever you have envisioned for yourself. And then you have the life vision. Then that is when you really start living your dream life, turning your life into a living masterpiece. This is when the action happens.
And we think this is the need of the hour. Adding to what you just mentioned, there is a question that is coming up to me, that is this applicable to brands to increase productivity for people working from home? How can and will this program bring a change? Let's hear that.
How this works for brands is like, whether it's a brand or it's someone working from home, whatever it is, I would like to say, your life is not just about you alone. It is about the number of people whose lives you're able to touch. So when you're able to bring in the core principles of Lifebook, which is living consciously, taking responsibility, and having a deep compassion for the other human beings, when these start becoming a part of your personality, it reflects in everything which you do. It could be a brand promoting something or coming up with a new project, or it could be a homemaker or someone working from home. It's going to affect in every relationship, whether it's with your family, with your peers, with your employees. So that's how Lifebook will be wonderful for anyone. And even if there is a head of an organization, it's going to impact his personality altogether when he's well balanced and centered. So that in turn will reflect and get vibrated to the community, whether it's a house or whether it's in your community or whether it's the world you're impacting. When you are good yourself from within, then naturally that will show better results.
And we are sure that this is definitely, will be a great help to people working from home, because it's become really tiring now. Okay, Kavitha ji, see, there are many people claim there are many such programs and trainers in the market. Why should people reach out to you? What are the USPs of this Lifebook program? Over to you.
Actually, I would say 3 things which makes Lifebook unique. Firstly, it's a holistic approach. Because, in Lifebook, we don't leave any area of life which is unattended to. And like I said before, if you have a slight imbalance in any one of the areas, that is going to impact the other areas of life. So that is why I say, because we have a holistic approach, Lifebook is the thing for you and you can go for it. Now, visions are of 2 kinds. Whenever the vision is created by somebody else, you need a great amount of push to go towards it. Like a vision that is suggested or created for you by either your teachers, preachers, parents, gurus, whatever. Or if you have, and as opposed to, when you have a vision that is created by you, for you, it's something which pulls you towards it. And then you just jump out of bed and you're so excited to go towards your vision. It has a signature Lifebook assessment tool here. Now, this is something which is really unique. Now, what happens is we make you go through the Lifebook assessment in the beginning of the course and then again at the end of the course, which is after 6 weeks. So you guaranteed when you do such deep exploration into every category, there will be dramatic change and you will see the scores going up greatly within the end of the 6 weeks. And not just that, we also make sure the candidates go through the Lifebook assessment every quarterly so that you don't go too much off track and then you're coming back. It's not like any other personal development program where it's like a jacuzzi experience where you're, as long as you're in there, you're good, and then you come out with a pad full of notes and all excitement, and once you get out of it, life happens. The washing machine breaks down, your son breaks his tooth, or there is a crisis at work, and all that hard work and memento you've got just goes out the window. So that is why this makes it so unique. Interesting things coming up as we speak. There is a program that is being made for teens. So generally, when I talk about Lifebook, it's like for us adults, it's great to be doing Lifebook at this stage. Better late than never. But if there is something as good as Lifebook to which teens are exposed to, it would be wonderful because they are just taught about. I'm not against the standard method of education that they are being exposed to, but unfortunately, the teens are not being open to what is real life experience when they step out of academics and university. They are taught nothing about what is their career or their finance or managing relationships, and they just have to move on to life and are exposed to the wide world. So these are the kind of things which will be addressed in Lifebook for teens, which we are coming up with. And because of this massive success we've had with Lifebook and how it has empowered couples when they do it together, so that is why we are also coming up with something called Lifebook for families itself as a unit. How wonderful it would be when all of them work on it together. And apart from this, as a personal vision, I have something which is very close to my heart. I want to take Lifebook to the underprivileged girls of my country and also those women who are just standing on the wall to do or not to do, though highly qualified and they're really well set in life, maybe wealthy and financially very stable too. But then they are so, put down, they are not confident, they are unable to come out of that shell. And sometimes it's themselves, they are themselves holding themselves back. And sometimes it's because of the others around them or the society. So they need to, one has to give them back the confidence and give them the capability to believe in themselves and to bring out that potential which is lying latent inside, which is sometimes humongous. They are not even sure about it. All they need is that little nudge. And I would like to be a catalyst in doing that. And I don't have any doubts, simply because of the OTT platform, which is now available, I am going to be able to reach much more than what I thought was possible earlier.
And we are totally convinced and wish you best of luck for your vision. This is beautiful. Somebody who learned Lifebook in the US is back home to help the underprivileged kids and girls. This is totally beautiful. So, what is your special message to brands and business houses? Over to you.
I would love for brands to make the workplace a place that is better, that makes life better for the humans and makes life safer for them, such that it actually reduces their stress and increases productivity and employee engagement. And I would like to leave you with a thought that, your life is just not about you. It's about the number of lives that you touch. So become that change that you want to see. And if not you, then who? If not now, then when? And if not this, then what?
Want to level up your life with proven life skill design strategies? Then get in touch with Kavitha. Kavitha ji is all set to rock the world, help people with their lifestyle, changes in the lifestyle with her Lifebook program. Her details are available. Our special message to all the brands out there: people have gone through a lot during COVID. I think doing a session, a trial session, a program with her will help people back with their momentum. So go ahead. Her details are available in the feed. आपका बहुत बहुत thanks है.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.